Okay. Well, we're set up to have an evening, get some visitors tonight. So cool. All right. What's the endocrinologist? Wow. Chronic fatigue is gone. Said gained weight. No. Gain weight and building muscle. Awesome. Fantastic. What a great story. Congratulations. Congratulations, Kim. Oh my goodness gracious. What a great story. Went to the endocrinologist asking about how my health was and asked if I was feeling, if I was having any symptoms with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Said no, chronic fatigue is gone. Lots of energy. Hair is getting thicker. Everything has gotten better. I feel great. Said I feel really good. And for the first time ever, a provider said you gained weight, that she gained weight. At first, I was shocked that she said I gained weight because I don't know anybody who wants to hear that gained weight. Well, I did because I was suffering sarcopenia. But anyway, she said, were you trying to gain weight? I said, no. She said, oh, and then said, well, let's do some lab work. The difference here between just gain weight and building muscle is the weight on the scale goes up. We're always so focused on the numbers. I was always focused on the numbers. Put a value on what I weighed or what I didn't weigh. We look at the big picture. How do you feel? Do you feel stronger, more energy? Trust me, the first thing I thought of was, oh no, I've always watched the scale, my numbers, but not anymore. I'm healthy, I'm strong, and yes, the number is up on the scale, and I'm okay with that. And she's flexing her bicep. Ah, that is awesome. Congratulations, Kim. We love you for that. Congratulations. You can't ask for a better story than that. And what other story did I get earlier this week? Oh, yeah, right over here. So earlier this week, I had this story. And this story, this is incredible. This is another incredible story. I'll read what it is. I have a doctor appointment tomorrow with my regular doctor. We're scheduling an MRI. So I'm going to tell her about the protocol. There are no signs of constipation in my CT scan. This is the first time. I've never had a stool backup. Think about that. That goes along with the story that I had just the other day with Cheryl, and Cheryl had her PAP, and she's been on the protocol for 90 days, and it's the first time in 9 years that she had a normal PAP. So that is phenomenal. Hey, Andrea, how are you, kiddo? Get you on here, get your mic going and stuff.
Great. Can you hear me?
I can now. Perfect. I just read Kim's message. Did you see Kim's message?
I did not. I must have missed that.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It's awesome. She's the Cliff Note version, and she sent out the message. But oh my goodness gracious, she gained weight. And she says, normally you worry about that, right? Normally you worry about that. But she said, nope. She gained 4 pounds, and it's muscle. It's all muscle. So we gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Oh, you look at her and she's a beast. I mean, she is just turning into a beast. I'm like, okay, I'm working on building, I want to build that body. Thank you.
Yes. I want some of that, right? I want some of that.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm seeing if I can find a couple more people. Some of these people are friends, but there we go. There's Keith. I'm going to invite Keith. See if that'll go through. Nope, his didn't go through. Sometimes they don't like that second one when I try to get a couple of these that we don't have.
Okay.
And Keith is one. Hubbard is another one, and Linda. For some reason, Facebook doesn't like them on my list or whatever, and I haven't been able to connect with them. So I sent Jim one through email, but I didn't get Linda's and the other one. I said I didn't get that one either.
That's okay.
But yeah, no, it's just so exciting that people are getting better. Every time we look around, someone's getting better. There's a story's better. The it's the most gratifying work really I've ever done. I mean, it just is. It's just amazingly fun and good, and you couldn't ask for it to be better, could you?
No, I mean, you really can't. And I just, even just the stories last night from that science call, George, that we were on. Oh my goodness. How I want everybody to hear that message, and I sent it to several people through Messenger. And it's like, just please listen. There is hope. There is a way to help and support your body to heal. But if we don't know, we're destroyed for lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're showing up like we are, right? That's what we're doing.
Absolutely. It's what we do. Try to help, try to educate, try to bring it to the forefront.
Yeah. We're in a crisis. We are in a crisis situation, and we have been, but they're saying it's only going to get worse. And the thing is, it's getting worse. It's people are getting sicker, younger and younger and younger. It's not just our seniors and elderly population. It's younger and younger and younger. And that's
what the most scary thing is for me. I think truly that's the scary thing. When you've got kids under 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the parents really have no idea oftentimes, which is their fault, not their fault. Let's just say it's no one's fault. If there is a fault, it lies within the system, but that's a cop-out. And it's definitely not the kids' fault because the kids didn't buy the food.
Mm-mm.
And they're eating what they are addicted to, but nobody recognizes it as an addiction. No one wants to use that word. Certainly don't want to use that word.
Mm-mm.
Right, John? I mean, that's like too harsh a word, right, John?
Well, yeah. I mean, like we saw it when we were having that lunch, we were like commenting on it, like all these people like waddling out of, what was it, Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
And they got these like huge cups of some sort of soda and, what was it, Buc-ee's?
Sorry, I'm finding you to hit highlight to everybody. Apologize about that.
That's all right.
Continue.
But yeah, that was right, wasn't it? Now, how many Buc-ee's did you want to go to after you were in the first one?
The one was enough. And then we went to another one and we got like a little bite to eat. So that was okay. But no more. Thank you.
Yeah, it was something else. My goodness gracious. You just start looking at it and you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. And to make a comment is 100% not socially acceptable. And so we work to get our message out through this media and through all the other medias that we can to try to educate. And one of the things that we have learned, or I've learned, and simply is that the illiteracy of people today is not their inability to read. Because everybody has a cell phone. And I know maybe there's some percentage of people that don't have cell phones and actually literally cannot read whatever. But the majority of people are not illiterate because they can't read. They become illiterate because they refuse to unlearn, to relearn the correct knowledge and facts that are there. And that includes the most educated among us, which are, the doctors and medical professionals and things. And part of that's because of the habit of how they get paid. our medical system, our sick care system is founded on reimbursement. It's a reimbursement system. Everything is time, the amount of time. My dad was a country doctor, literally a country doctor. I was on house calls with my dad. And I'm out in the front yard. I'm out in the parlor. I'm in the barn. I'm entertainment. Imagine that, guys, me as entertainment.
I can't imagine, George.
Mr. Boring.
Amazing.
Hey, let's go see what's over here. But yeah, so I was part of the entertainment package, right? And Dad was doing his work in the bedroom, or in our house, because we had the clinic in our house early on. And so that was about healthcare. That was about general practice. That was about tending literal bedside manner, literally bedside manner. Now it's like you may spend an hour in a clinic and you'll get your 7 minutes with the MD. You maybe get 13 minutes with a nurse practitioner, but the rest of the time it's with this person coming in and doing some things, and this person coming in and doing some things, and this person coming in and doing things, and this person's coming and doing it. And when the doc comes in, he's on a timer. He's on a timer, and he may be behind, but that doesn't matter. But the idea is that it's not based on service. It's like, oh, okay, so here's all the work. Looks like you have this. On your way out, go to the pharmacy. Now, do you use our pharmacy or do you go someplace else? And I'll see you in this next period of time, right? Isn't that about how it goes, John? I mean, you go to the doctor more than I do.
Well, yeah, actually, when my mom was in the hospital for her, I don't know if you know, Andrea, but my mom had trouble breathing, and she ended up with like a total of 4 liters of blood in her right lung. And so towards the end, like the surgeon was only in there for like 2 minutes, check everything, and he was out. And he was kind of in charge of everything. But then there's other doctors or residents or something that came in and put the catheter in and did all the work and did all the bedside stuff. But the surgeon was like checking everything and, oh, everything's fine. Bye. Period. So, yeah, I mean, some are nice, and I'm pretty cordial with my doctor. I get along with her fine.
Well, and the thing is, they go to medical school, and thank God for them, because when we need doctors, acute situations, it's great. You have a car accident, you break your leg, you have an appendix rupture. It's so important,
Yep.
But the chronic state that we're in with the chronic disease, we're missing the mark. And, and I feel for the physicians that are out there, because they got into it because they had a heart to serve and to help humanity. And they're kind of stuck in this. One, are they going to get curious and say, okay, I'm giving all these medications. What ratio am I seeing of people truly reversing disease versus people just staying on medication, and then it's medication after medication after medication? So I feel for them, because they've got a real dilemma, because if they start digging deep, they're going to have to make some hard choices. And we've seen that within our community. We have some physicians that have made some hard choices and said, hey, I'm going to go the route of, I know the body wants to heal. I'm going to help fill in that gap and bridge that gap. And, that's what led me down the path of, I want more education as a functional medicine nutritionist, as a health coach, as a beat cancer coach. I want to know how, why, what's going on. So I always encourage you, get curious. Look at your symptoms as your body's speaking to you. And these mamas and these children, my heart aches for them too, because I was that mom. We were running rampant. I had 5 kids. We were at basketball practice. We were there for 4 hours a night. Then it was every night of the week. So we needed fast, easy, convenient. That's what our ultra processed food is. Doesn't make it right, but it is. It's fast, easy, and convenient, but we're paying for it down the road with our children's health. And it's happening sooner and sooner and sooner. We're seeing these chronic sicknesses and disease And they say this is supposed to be the first generation of children with a shorter life expectancy than their parents. We buried a cousin at 26 not too long ago to the C word. I never want a person, a mom, a person, anybody to say, you knew about this situation, you knew about getting to the root cause and you didn't tell me. So that's why we're on here. We're here to say, hey, there's so many pieces to this puzzle and we have a center root. And if we can just wipe that out, all these other little symptoms that your body warning you, giving you that signal, they will dissolve and go away. Sorry, I just got on a rampage there.
You're fine. Absolutely perfect there.
Sounds perfect.
Hey, John, in
Yes.
the chat down here in the box where it says comments, go ahead and put @highlight or @followers. You see down there at the very bottom where it says all. Your post
Chat
comments.
with everyone in studio.
It's down there at the bottom. It says post a comment. The bottom left-hand side of your bottom right-hand side. You should see.
Because I'm still in the
on your phone.
Yeah. I've got the studio chat because I'm still in the that program, whatever that's called. The one with the duck.
Yeah. You can do it right down there under comments.
Okay.
Because Andrea, that's where you put it in too, isn't it? That's followers.
Okay.
Or are you putting it over on the stage thing, Andrea?
I put it in. I went to Facebook on my phone.
Okay,
I'm
just
on
okay.
StreamYard on the computer. I went to
Okay, there you
Facebook
go.
on my phone.
Okay.
And did it.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Anyway, so I tried to invite a couple more people on,
There we go.
guys. So, guys, a couple things we want to talk about is that there was just a study that just came out.
There we go.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but I wanted to talk about it just real quick, hard second. And it was just out of, hang on here, it was just published today. So I want to give you the resource here. It was published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, just came out. And it said, and it refers to researchers conclude that GLP-1 drugs significantly reduce body weight and adiposity, although along with substantial fat-free muscle mass. And there's no clear evidence, but CRF enhancement isn't there. So what happens is that they're talking about the issue where you're losing muscle mass, and cardiorespiratory fitness is a potent predicator of all causes of cardiovascular mortality risk across an age range of populations. I mean, that just came out today, and I'll make sure I get that up to you, Andrea. But that's out of the it says you could lose weight, but the big thing is the big but. That's out of the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, and there are grants and that kind of stuff. And then there's another one I found today, and I'll get that to the group as well, because I'm constantly doing research on this stuff, guys. And so when I talk about GLP-1 resistance, there's actually two GLP-1 resistances. There's GLP-1, GLP-2. There are two different areas of the intestines that are affected, and there's a resistance on that. That's also another thing. Then I'm not even talking about the retina and the brain and all the other kinds of things there. But that is some serious stuff. And again, I think it's kind of interesting, Andrea, that people will willy-nilly grab a petroleum-based pill, and most medications are petroleum-based. That's kind of an interesting sidebar that no one talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Most medications are petroleum based, and now you present a food as something that could help. Just the word help. Just take the word help and use that. That could help with that. Not everybody wants to become a researcher. Now they're going to be clinical researchers. And it frustrates a lot of people because, okay, we'll go if you're going to base it on clinical research, then what do you need to have? What kind of proof do you have to have? What do you oh, shut up. What do you need to have? Not ChatGPT was over here going to have a conversation with me. So do you need my help?
And we have that, George. That's what the beauty of it is. We have that. And, you know, so these GLP-1 antagonists are looking at weight loss. Weight is a symptom of a deeper metabolic issue. So we can fix the weight, but have we fixed the inner workings of what's going on in that body? You know, I just had a conversation today with a client, and we were talking about, I said, you know, you go to the endocrinologist for your thyroid, you go to the cardiologist for your heart, you go to the gastroenterologist for your stomach, we have so subdivided our body into all of these different organ systems that was never meant to be, because if one is affected, the other's affected. You know, if your thyroid's affected, what's going on in your gut? What's going on in your liver? If your stomach's affected, what's going on in your liver? What's going on in your gut? What's the gut-brain connection? It's proven that it's there, and we have dismissed it all and just put you in this little, I don't even know what I want to call it, a cookie cutter of, oh, we're just focusing on your thyroid. But no, I can't even. I had a podiatrist yesterday tell us with my dad. I asked him, he said, I'm going to get your A1C. And I said, can you run a fasting insulin? Well, we don't do that. I said, well, can you just kind of humor me? Can you just run that? I would like to know what that is, because I started explaining stuff. We're kind of missing the mark, because A1C can look great, but there could be other things going on. He could not even order it in his system. It wasn't allowed. As a physician, he couldn't even order it. Now you tell me why. That makes me mad. I'm sorry. It's just like hell.
Yeah. At the last clinic I was at, I asked to have. I said, "What can you guys do? Run my insulin? Can you run my insulin?" They go, "No." The physician went out and asked the other physicians and the clericals. They just would have gone outside and asked the people at Walmart. The same. We don't do that. And I go like, wow, how? And then I got conflicting answers, and it was like, well, the tests are unreliable. We don't really have a test. I got ramen noodle answers, you know. Just trying to CYA, and George, you're asking things that, go away. So
and the reason that shows up way before your A1C does, that's going to be a factor. So they don't want the industry doesn't want you to know what that is.
Right. No, I get it. It's just kind of a crazy darn thing. I'm just going to take a real quick snap here. So, and hey, Kim, I'm going to see if I can't get Kim on here. Let's see if I can't get Kim. You guys keep chatting. I keep inviting people, so you guys just kind of chat amongst yourself. I'll see if I can't get Kim on here too, because I want to celebrate her story if we can get her. There we go. We hope that'll send up to him. I love Kim, Tony. It didn't go through. I'll have to try again in a minute. Reload the page.
Wait for a second. Okay, you go ahead. I'm going to just share some resources that I love.
All right, good.
Be able to help people. The Diabetes Code. Excellent book by Dr. Jason Fung. Excellent book. Guys, I like to get them on Audible, and then if I love the book after I listen to it, I go and I buy it so I can go through and highlight it. So I want to listen to it. You can do that from your library. Guys, Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz is another great resource. Ladies, if you are younger, where you're still having your cycle, you're going to fast differently than somebody who is not. This book will help explain that. Fast Like a Girl. She also has a great podcast. This is Metabolic Freedom by Ben Azadi. It's another excellent book. And then Why We Get Sick by one of our favorite docs, Dr. Ben Bigman. And then the last one is Metabolical by Robert Lustig. Guys, these guys are all researchers. They know their stuff. So go and educate yourself. Ask questions. Get curious. Make people frustrated. That's okay because your life is at stake. Literally, your life could be at stake by the questions you don't ask and the answers that you don't get.
Hey, there's Mike. Hey, see Mike? Hi, Mike. And you're
Thomas,
on.
I can't hear anyone.
Say hi to everybody. And what's going on in your world, Mike? What's your story, buddy?
No, Mike, I can hear you. I'm multitasking. I clicked on this link and now I'm in a live and with all my good friends, but I can't hear anybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad y'all can hear me. Oh, there goes my device. So let me call you right back, Mike. Bye. So, George, you're like on a crazy green screen of some kind.
Me?
So, I don't know. This multi-stream StreamYard thing is new to me. So, I'm
No
having
problem.
a good night. So,
Yeah.
I love seeing all my new friends here. So,
Yep. I'm trying to get Kim on, and Facebook just won't. Kim, I've got to invite you, and right now I'm having a war with Facebook, but I'll keep working to get you on because your story. We are so excited. Wait till you hear Kim's story, her results today. Oh, you want to sing like the choirs at the cathedral. I mean, we're so exciting. It's like angel voices of, and she deserves every little ounce of it. So anyway, but Mike, this is John. You guys haven't met before.
Hi, John.
And you know, Andrea, you know,
Hi,
me,
Mike.
so
yeah.
you guys like to say, chat amongst yourselves. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to try to get Kim on.
Okay. Are we live anywhere? Or are we just in some?
We're live on Facebook, Mike. So you can go to George's page and click @followers and @highlight, and that will send it over to your followers and highlight.
Perfect.
And so yes, we are live on Facebook.
Yeah, when I did that, there was quite an echo, so it was interesting. But I did it.
Yeah. We're just kind of
Fantastic.
sharing about our, what we've seen, guys. And for me, I was struggling with extra weight, the brain fog, the lack of energy, the lack of focus, a foot injury that wouldn't heal, just knew there had to be more, hormones out of balance, cortisol. I had suffered from adrenal failure, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia years ago, gestational diabetes. So in my 30s, insulin resistance started and nobody put the puzzle pieces together until just this past January when I heard Dr. Kenny share about it. It was like, oh my gosh, those pieces just started falling into place. I thought, what do I have to lose? Started the protocol. George will share that later. And the brain fog went away. The energy came back. The being able to walk longer, exercise more, starting to build muscle as a 58-year-old woman. My metabolic age, I got one of those metabolic scales this past October. It said I was 65 years old and I was 57 years old. And I was like, holy crap, this is not good. The visceral fat, the lack of skeletal muscle, the struggle there. My body wasn't absorbing water. My BMI was out of whack. All of that stuff is coming into balance. Now my metabolic scale says I'm actually 55 and I'm 58. I will take it. I've lost over 30 pounds since February, and the weight is it's getting rid of that inflammation. My foot injury healed, and my husband's triglycerides were too high. He had a heart attack when he was in his 50s 4 years ago, or he was 50 years old. His triglycerides have come down 51 points in 3 weeks. And guys, nobody was looking at his triglycerides. We were watching his cholesterol. So just know there's hope. Ladies, I don't care what stage of life you're in, whether you are a teenager starting to go through the hormone change, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We have, and George has a testimony with Cheryl, 80-year-old. I mean, guys, we have we have the real thing, and it's plants, and you have nothing to lose, but everything to gain.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this young lady right there, guys. Look at her. Isn't that
Look at
something?
those fat cheeks. Anne Marie said to me, she said, you had no neck. And I didn't realize how bad I felt. I truly didn't realize how bad I felt. And then it's just like, this all just pulls it together. So
I thought it was all normal. My doctor said it was because of my 28 years of fire and EMS and aging. You know, now I feel like I'm 20 without the hangover, and I'm 53.
awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah. But yeah, so the wonderful thing about Andrea here, guys, is this isn't even the most current rich picture. Just see her in her black evening gown. She just was on stage in Miami for an award. She is nationally recognized. She's an expert at what she does. And so we're privileged to have her on tonight, privileged to have her with our team. The knowledge that she has, the information that she shares with us all, it's just dynamic. And she continues to do this. Now, her husband, Jim, right? James?
James.
James. Now, he had a heart attack, guys. And here's the interesting thing about that. When he had the heart attack, after that, what did they tell you that they wanted his cholesterol to be?
Zero. They wanted his cholesterol to be 0. I about fell off the chair. I'm like, and at that point, he, after the heart attack, because he had a Widowmaker heart attack, we had no clue. We went to the ER because we thought he had the C word. That was the respiratory thing. He was just having some burning in his chest. No pain, no pressure. Blood pressure wasn't out of whack. We even did an EKG at home because have one of those. His EKGs were fine. His blood levels weren't when they checked his labs. And anyway, so after the heart attack, they told us they wanted his cholesterol to be 0. He did start taking a statin at that point. On that statin, he felt horrible. His joints started aching, muscle ache. A few months down the road, he tears his rotator cuff. Go and do some research. We found out later that medication weakens your ligaments, your joints, number of different things. Okay. Got off of that. Said, we can't do this anymore. Okay. He's going to be an invalid laying in bed. And there was no way we were taking his cholesterol to 0. So we started doing some natural things, but we didn't know we needed to be watching the triglycerides. And with this, everything has come back into normal. His triglycerides are down, and his HDL is up by 11 points, putting it finally, after years, in the normal range. So inflammation going away and all that. It's amazing.
Kim, we should get you on now. We should have a spot for you. But yeah, and Jim or Mike, I ask you this: have you ever heard anything so ridiculous as to have the doctor wanted her husband to have a 0 cholesterol level?
Everything I've learned about cholesterol, that's dangerous because even before running across Dr. Kenny, I told my doctor that even though my triglycerides were high and my LDL was a little high and my HDL was low, I wasn't touching any cholesterol meds because lack of cholesterol is showing to lead to Alzheimer's and dementia. And so to have a 0 cholesterol, that sounds like a horrible, horrible, horrible idea.
Yeah, because you'd have no brain. Your brain is 80% cholesterol. Every hormone is made with some cholesterol. Every cell in the body has cholesterol. To have no cholesterol. Poof.
So I just hope others aren't hearing that out there. Okay. I hope that was just a fluke. And we loved this physician. We really did. We really trusted him until he said that to me. And I'm like, what the heck? No, we can't do that. You'll be like an 80-year-old man. And yeah, no. And we don't want to age that way, guys. If you look at the blue zones, go and look at the blue zones. They live 80, 90, 100 years old with health. There are some key things that they do, and we are talking to you about some of those key things. So we definitely, we need to educate. So get curious. There's no stupid questions. Ask and find somebody that will truly look at you and get to the root cause. And that's what we're all about.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great. Yeah, we're trying to add Kim now. I've got a spot for her on the world. So if she's on here, if she can get on here, that'd be great. So one of the things I want to ask everybody is, what's something that you really like? What's the one thing you enjoy the most about the protocol?
Sleeping through the night and not peeing 45 times, through the night. Again, I was told by my doctor that it was all age related, and that my sleep problems of not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep was all because of my shift work disorder of working 24-hour shifts for 28 years and being woken up in the night. No, I sleep like a baby. I don't sleep like a baby. I sleep like a rock now. At first, I think when I was first on the protocol, I'm like, oh my goodness, I am peeing way more than I was before. But that was just my body in high ketosis, getting rid of and dumping all that sugar. Now I'm only slightly insulin resistant. I think I'm at a 0.175 now after dropping 80 pounds of fat, and now I've gained 10 pounds of muscle. So it's amazing how I feel, and sleeping is the biggest key. And I mean, I tried this supplement, that supplement. I wouldn't take meds, but I only went the natural route, and they helped to a point. But now it's just like when I go to bed, I'm actually tired and I knock off.
Perfect. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, no, sleeping is a very nice exercise. It really is. And it's very refreshing. But it's even better when you don't have to get up and go to the ceramic, go take a visit. It's nice to be able to sleep all the way through and sleep all the way through. And that's and you're exactly right, Michael. People would say, well, it's because you're older. Poppycock. It's not because you're older.
Nope.
No, give me a break. My goodness gracious. So yeah. And those types of things, like when I was suffering, when I went through, and I also had into the play sarcopenia. So when I first started losing weight, I was doing a happy dance. This is cool. I'm not doing anything, and I'm losing pounds. And then eventually it was like, I should probably not lose much more weight. And I'm still losing weight. And Mike, I was down to 143 pounds.
Wow.
And that on a 5'8", 5'9" frame is kind of small. And yeah, kind of small. Right from where I started.
Being a paramedic, that's a dream patient of mine.
There you go.
Somebody I can carry out by myself.
Exactly.
Throw them over the shoulder.
Exactly. Over the shoulder carry. Here we go to the ambulance.
Perfect. There you go. I'd have been that guy. But
watch your head.
So the great thing about the protocol is that when we can stop and then gain muscle mass, which is not something that a 73-year-old is supposed to be able to do in any way, shape, or form, even after 60s. And then if I was female, I'd be menopausal, postmenopausal, and now you have estrogen, and you've deteriorated it as well. How are you ever going to grow that back? How are you ever going to get that muscle back? And one of the new things that we have in our arsenal is another product in our program. And that is the Stronghold. And the great thing about the Stronghold is that it deals with anabolic resistance. And so what we're talking about, guys, is insulin resistance, anabolic resistance. Insulin is necessary, right? Insulin needs muscles because that 80% of where the blood sugar is supposed to go, the glucose is supposed to go, is in the muscle. That's where it's supposed to go. Well, if you're losing muscle, either because you're on one of the synthetics, or if you're losing muscle because your hormones have changed, or quote unquote because you've gotten older and your hormones are changing, now you have less places for the glucose to go if you continue eating the same amount. and it can't go in the liver anymore because it's tired. The brain doesn't want anymore. So it wraps around your organs and then your body, and then you start growing the skin tags and all the other things because that's a growth hormone. And then you just start peeing it out in droves every 2 hours, 24 hours a day. Whether you drink a bunch or not, it's still going out because you haven't finishing the issue. And so what the protocol does, and what this anabolic program that we have with the Stronghold, now that protects the breakdown of the muscle, which then allows the insulin to have a place to put the glucose. So they actually work hand in hand. They work hand in hand to reverse and help create lean muscle mass on top of the protocol in and of itself. So that is a very, very exciting, and that was really announced in Miami. And Dr. Bickman spent about 20 minutes or so, well, more than 20 minutes, a half hour anyway, explaining that. And that is incredible product, and that adds to our arsenal to help make people metabolically healthier. So, yeah, and there's Kim writes in their Stronghold. She's like this because she's gaining weight, and it's muscle weight. I mean, she's not on. I wish she could get on, but I mean, it's incredible. She's the greatest kid in the world, and she's gained like 4 pounds. All of the other stuff, all the issues she's had in her life, she deserves this extra help, this extra strength. And it's only going to make her stronger. And so we're proud of her. We're just proud of the heck of her. So, Michael, in terms of some of the people's stories that you've heard, what are some of the stories that your customers have been able to relate to you?
One of my customers was at church, and I jokingly call myself a walking billboard, and everybody wants to know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, John, and I got so tired of just getting a $10 referral code. I said back on Mother's Day, click, I'm in business. And he sent me a text message, and it was kind of, it's hard to, gauge whether things are positive or negative in the text message, but he really wasn't working the protocol, but he was taking the chlorogenic tea and the fiber, and he still lost 10 pounds. And he says, this just proves that what you are selling me works. And I'm ordering again next month. I am excited. I am going to double down and work harder in following the food plan we have and the intermittent fasting. But yeah, he dropped 10 pounds, not even trying. So he said that. Another guy, Jeff, misunderstood about the tea. You sip the tea. He was guzzling it. And he says, Mike, why am I feeling so lightheaded and dizzy? I go, oh no. But since then, he's on his second box. So yeah, and these are two gentlemen that were very similar to me with very large midsections. When I started this, my waist was at a 46. I'm now down to a 32. So, I mean, I have melted off the visceral fat. My visceral fat from a body scan a year ago, May, was 206, and the chart went to 200. And for those that don't know, visceral fat is the dangerous fat that sits on our organs and creates a lot of systemic inflammation, a lot of systemic problems, a lot of systemic disease, aches and pains in your joints, all kinds of crazy symptoms. And I now am, in 6 months, even though the test was a year ago, because I was still almost 280, I dropped it from 206 to 103.5 from May to May. I feel incredible, other customer stories. So I don't know if Judy's watching on Facebook or not, but long story short, God sent me to a house. I'm a handyman since I'm doing handyman full-time and this full-time. God sent me to a customer's of mine's rental house to fix a sink. I climbed all under the sink. It was a kitchen sink. It was supported by two 2x4s. Well, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the sink, so I took one of the 2x4s out. It didn't seem broken. I took the second 2x4 out. The sink was not loose. I could lean on it, I could pound on it, and I could kick it. It wasn't going anywhere. Next thing you know, I'm talking to the renters, the owners or the renters who lived in that property for the last 10 years and said, yeah, we've had no problem with the sink. I go, huh, that's strange. So we start talking, and her husband has been unfortunately bedridden for 2 years by a horrible fall and a poor care by our healthcare system, or our sickness system, actually. And he ended up almost in a coma. He has been immobile for over 2 years. She started the protocol just to get more energy. She's already dropped 4 pounds and feels incredible and is running full steam ahead in the business after taking the product for 7 days. Because she gave it to her husband for 2 days. It was the first time he was able to roll over on his stomach and back onto his back without assistance. And that was on 2.5 days of taking the protocol. So that's some of my results and some of my customers' results, that they've gone from customers to business partners in the SNAP just because it works.
Now, how much weight have you lost just on a weight loss? Just how much weight loss have you had, Mike?
80 pounds. And then
John,
I put 10 pounds of muscle back on.
And John, how much have you lost?
Well, originally I lost to 90, but like Mike, I put some muscle back on. So I put about 8 pounds of muscle back on since 90 pounds. So
you guys have lost more than me.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli. And I got to ask, you've lost me, all right? Now, all of you, you guys, are you counting a lot of calories? Are you counting calories or counting your carbohydrates? Or
what's a calorie, George?
I have a question too. Do you have the flabby hanging skin, and is it something that you need to have to go liposuctioned off and all that? I mean,
No.
Hey, look, there she is finally. The wonderful, amazing Kimberly. Hey,
Hi,
Kim.
guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, and we want to hear your story. Give us your story. It's so exciting.
Okay, so so I don't have my lab work yet, but I had it drawn. But for the first time ever today, so I don't have any Hashimoto's symptoms, Hashimoto's thyroiditis symptoms. So
Nice.
chronic fatigue is gone, brain fog gone, my hair is getting thicker. Thank you. I'm able to build some muscle. I was even told that I gained weight today.
And let's see that bicep. Let's see that. Show that bicep of yours. Come on, show your bicep. Look at that. Holy cannoli.
I laughed because, well, and I kind of just looked at her in disbelief. Did you actually just ask me that? Did you just tell me that? You got to be careful nowadays.
Yeah.
But now she's like, you gained weight. And I look back, I gained 10 pounds.
And it's solid. You're looking great.
Well, thanks. No, I definitely can tell. I feel stronger. And, for somebody who is in, menopause, full blown, I have been for a long time, actually. I was put in surgical menopause when I was 27. So, yeah. But also osteoporosis too, which I totally forgot about, but she reminded me, and that's looking better too. So
well, congrats, Kim. That's awesome.
Wow, I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, all thanks to this protocol. I mean, I've been doing the same thing for years. Like I've been lifting the weights. I've been, dieting. I've been doing everything. The only thing that has changed is the protocol.
So, Kim, you're actually saying your body is healing.
Yeah.
From all of these chronic, and if I remember right, you said you spent a month in the hospital, and you were the autoimmune nightmare. You had all of this stuff that was just.
Yeah, I mean,
you literally shouldn't probably be here.
No, a couple times. Yeah, cancer survivor, IBS, Crohn's, PCOS, aplastic anemia in remission. Google that one. That'll scare you because it's not good. It's when your bone marrow shuts down and you don't produce platelets or white blood cells. Very few red blood cells. So
that's the opposite of leukemia then.
So it's similar. They weren't too sure which one, and until they did bone marrow biopsy, they didn't know.
Wow.
They had to actually look at the bone marrow. Yeah.
That was a good day at the office.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was very scary. But yeah, a month in the hospital. And like I say, and even today when I was in the endocrinologist's office today and asking her about autoimmune, she didn't say much. Like, she didn't have any answers. And, it's like, what can I do for inflammation? A gluten-free diet? Is there anything else I can do? No. I said, just a gluten-free diet. Yeah. I said, okay. Okay. So we'll see. When my labs come in, I'll be going back to talk to her and saying, this is what I've been doing. Take a look.
Yeah. Incredible. The whole thing about gluten, guys, you know how we got to this position with gluten? Do you understand the story behind that?
No, tell us.
Okay, so for years, well, first off, wheat used to be about 3-4 feet high. Wheat used to be a very tall plant. I mean, amber waves of grain. Just that huge thing. It was just like carpet. Well, the problem was they wanted more grain per acre, and the stocks wouldn't hold it. So they kept breeding and hybrid.
Yep.
So you hear GMO. Well, they were doing this like Mendelssohn's pea, right? They're breeding, making stock heavier to shorter. They get more grain per acre, but they never did any tests on the grain itself in terms of how it's been changed, the chemical makeup. So it's like GMO, genetically modified, but they won't call it like that. It's exactly what happened, because you're messing with the genes by crossbreeding them till you get the short plant that produces more per acre, and the grain itself has a couple of elements in it that create the issue that you now know is where people have gluten allergies. The couple things that comes from that, as well as now taking the starch. But that's how we got here. It's the same kind of thing as you talk about GMO corn. It was genetically engineered, but they didn't call it that. It's hybrid. Okay.
I did not know that.
That's how we got here. That's how, because when I was a kid, and everybody knows I'm 70, I've lived 2 different lifestyles of food. So the first 30 years, you guys are all over here the last 40 years, 50 anyway, but 40 most of you. And so you're on this side of the ledger. I'm over here. When we were kids, there wasn't nobody had gluten allergies. There wasn't such a thing. Because we had real wheat. We had the original kind of stuff. We didn't have the different sugars and starches. We had the fiber. We had beef. We didn't have grass-fed beef or grass-finished beef, or how many different kinds of eggs can you buy in the store? Like there's pasteurized and free range. And, if we got eggs, you got scratched. I mean, let's be real, So we had eggs, real eggs, and chickens weren't like these big monsters that you get in your superstore. Chickens were small. They're more like pheasants. Now they're raised because you buy everything by the pound. They want to give you the biggest thing possible. So they feed it in a way, raise it in a way so that it's worth more to them per ounce, the same way the grain is worth more per acre. So it's better living through chemistry, if you will, the agrochemicals that brought it through there. So wheat allergies and those things are something that you guys get. The nut allergies you guys have. We didn't have any nut allergies when I was a kid. Are you kidding me? We wouldn't have had any parties. You had peanut butter cookies, and peanut butter cookies had fork scratches through it. That's how Grandma made them. They had the cork. You knew it was peanut butter because there were scratches across it.
Yeah, George, let me add something here if you don't mind. Like, for example, two things. One, I had a good friend of mine who is considering doing what we're doing. She spent a week in Italy. She ate their carbohydrates every day of the week and a lot of it and lost weight because it doesn't have all the genetically modified harmful chemicals in it and the glyphosate that ours does. And number two, if you are really jonesing for some bread or some carbohydrates, depending on where you live in the country, there's this grocery store chain called Aldi, A-L-D-I.
Yep.
And they are carrying this Italian ancient grain bread and pasta and all that if anybody does want some healthy carbs at the end of a meal, they have it. So yeah, you're absolutely right, George. The food we grow and eat in this country is garbaggio. I'll use an Italian phrase maybe. But yeah, it's terrible, and we all grow up eating it, like there's always Cheetos and crackers and chips, all in this canola oil and the seed oil and refined. I didn't know it was bad for me, and then what do? My kid is 18 and now he's got a lot of bad food habits that I wish I would have known back then what I know now. And he's already going to college in the fall, and he is sending out protocol videos to his college chat groups. So
that's great.
I got a mini me.
Speaking of bad food habits, here's a cookie.
Yay, cookie! I love
homemade, I bet.
I had my fun.
There you go. Perfect.
Since I know you ate, John, I know you're having your carbohydrates last.
Right.
Proper food order.
Yep.
Never knew there was such a thing.
Yep.
Never.
The proper food order. The proper food order is F off.
Yeah, even when I got diagnosed with type 2 back in January of 2000, when I sat down with a dietitian just to go over what I have to do for diabetes, they never once told me anything about a food order. All they told me was, hey, watch your complex carbs and watch your sugar. That's all. That's all they said.
And what's a complex carb? Confused? I mean, is it a potato chip that's crossed with some cheese? Or what's a complex?
Even what I know now about diabetes and about food order, I still really don't know what a complex carb really truly is.
I don't either.
I know sweet potato is considered a complex carb, but why is it considered a complex carb? Because it's still starch, just like a regular potato.
Is it low on the glycemic index, maybe? So they call it complex to make us confused so we don't quite understand it?
I think it's because it's got more fiber.
Okay, which would make it low on the glycemic index.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be that. Well, that'd be that's an interesting thought. But yeah, complex carbs. Hey, John, when you guys have you seen John's picture when he was Super Atlas?
Yeah,
it's just scary.
Talking about the one I showed.
Oh, when your biceps were the size of my high school's waist.
You mean your waist now? You mean?
No, I'm at 28. I'm at 28, not 24.
I know. That was when I had 24-inch arms.
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah. But that was right there. That was after being diagnosed diabetic for 8 years.
Wow.
Even though I was constantly trained and doing what they said. So like you guys said earlier, you can't outwork a diet. Yeah, well, I tried to, and it didn't work. So, I spent a good, 2-3 hours a day in the gym. Plus trying to eat way the dietitian told me to do, complex carbs. So, yeah.
Hi. I've been out in the yard, so I look really pretty.
You're beautiful.
Hi. Thank you.
Tell Kim what your doctor visit said.
Okay, so I had a hysterectomy in 2016.
It was our fourth date.
That's what it says. We started dating on January 3rd that year, so yeah, I guess.
Oh,
Anyway, so I had a hysterectomy. It was just precautionary. I didn't have cancer or anything because, my Pap tests weren't showing good things. So I did it as precautionary. So I've been having, every 6 months, I've been having Pap tests ever since. And I thought, oh, great. Once I have a hysterectomy, it's going to be over. Well, it wasn't. So every 6 months since then, I've been having a Pap test, and they have still not turned out real good. So when did I start on the protocol?
About 90 days,
Yeah.
not quite 90. Yeah.
So I had a Pap test last week, and it was great. I passed it.
that's awesome.
So I still have one in another 6 months, but we'll see. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
That
And
is
then you have a
amazing.
thyroid exam coming.
I have a parathyroid that's been high, and the first time I went to, I'm on Synthroid because my thyroid, and I've been on that for years, low dosage. But so then the doctor said, well, your parathyroid is high. So they sent me to an endocrinologist. The first one was on a telescreen from Texas. I walked in there and she says, what are you here for? And I thought, whoa, what am I here for? Don't you read anything? First thing out of her mouth, do you want it out? And I said, no. I said, aren't you going to run any tests or anything? Oh, yeah, I guess I can. So she ran tests. I went back. Yeah. I went back another time and she said, well, it's still high. Do you want it out? And I said, no. And I decided right then and there, I was going to another endocrinologist. So I researched. I found one in Peoria where George lives. And I think he lives up here now.
Yes.
Anyway, found one there. First thing she said when I walked in the room, do you want it out? And I said, no.
Yeah, seriously, guys. We were in the room. The endocrinologist comes in her room, in the exam room, says, hi, when do you want to have your thyroid out?
Oh my goodness.
I said, I don't.
That was it. I mean, it wasn't anything but hi, hello, when do you want surgery?
So I said,
Hi, hello, nice to meet you. When can I cut you in pieces?
yeah, right. It's all about money. So, and I said, well, aren't you going to run tests? So she ran tests. I went back and it was a little bit high yet.
Yeah.
But then, so the third time I went, it was normal.
Yeah.
And that was,
Wonderful.
I go back, and that was last September. I go back again this September.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on the protocol at that time, but so I went back. I'm going back this next September, and she had told me when I left last September, if everything's normal again, then I will dismiss you. So I thought, good.
Yeah, like we want to go back to her.
Well, my doctor, my GP, he always runs a bunch of tests once a year on me, and my parathyroid was normal then, so I'm hopefully. But the first thing my doctor said to me, he said, you really should have that out. And I said, well, I don't want to if I don't have to.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God.
I
like to cut. And I don't like to be cut on, so I'm
There
gonna.
you go. All right, thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for sharing.
I mean,
Bye. Thank
You
you.
know the feeling because, when I was dealing with a foot ulcer, my infectious disease doctors, that's all they wanted to do was chop my foot off.
That's
And
right.
luckily,
Yeah.
the podiatrist stood his ground and had my back and fought for me. So I know the feeling.
There was a doctor that
Go ahead, John.
there was a doctor that told my mom, like, well, we'll just keep testing, we'll find something. I'm like, okay,
Really?
great. Yeah.
Just away.
Hey, Kim, have you started using Stronghold at all?
I have. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I have. And I definitely think that's been helping.
Yeah, absolutely.
I probably should be on it too because
With the stronghold, Is it just like one a day, or can we do multiple a day?
You can do multiple episodes, but like one
Can
is
you-
the minimum. That's kind of thing. You
Okay.
can do it. People do a pre and post workouts and other kinds of straddles on it,
Right.
because it has the ability to stop the catabolicness.
Yeah, the anabolic
Yeah,
resistance.
the antibiotic, yeah. So the antibiotics there, so it helps it not only to build but not allow the breakdown. It gets to keep the amino acids inside of it. Okay, and so that was part of the thing, and that was part of what Dr. Bickman said when we were at the Rise. When he
Right.
started, and they did acute and chronic studies on it. Now they haven't had peer review, but it increased the mTOR like 5 times. It increased the
Wow.
GLP-1 2 times,
Right.
and it did a couple other things. So I started taking it at lunchtime, at noon ish lunchtime. That's what Dr. Kenny was taking it. So I go, well, it works for him. I'll work. That's when I started adding it too. And then John traveled with me all the way down to Miami, and he'd just go, "What's in your thing?" And I go, "I don't know. I got about everything in here. It's just I just made an atomic bomb cocktail." And
He
one of the
He
things
a cocktail of stuff.
exactly.
What do you got in there?
We're going down the roadway, and John would look over at me and goes, "You haven't yawned. You haven't yawned." I go, "I don't need to. You know, just going at it and drinking and having a good time." So, yeah. So there's that anyway. So, but yeah. So yeah, I don't think
With the
really
protein and like two Unimatas, and I'm like, you could do that? 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not yawning. What's up? Fella.
So, yeah, that's how that plays. So, John, what else is going on in your world? How's Catherine doing?
She's doing great. I mean, every day just keeps improving with this protocol. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, everything that we've been told, like with her chronic kidney disease and all that kind of stuff, was, this never go away. This would be this will be that, and start doing this protocol, and then all of a sudden, all those things that said would never happen is happening. Her, her kidney disease is going away. It was in remission before, but now her kidney levels and all that are normal and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it still blows my mind knowing what it does for her, even though I knew what it did for me, but what it done for her, and just watching her transform like she has still blows my mind, because we're always told the stuff that's changing on her will never be reversible or never be improved, is the best way to put it. So yeah, but I mean, she's still killing it. I mean, she hasn't lost as much weight as she wants. She still wants to get down under 200 pounds, but she is like that close to breaking that barrier. I mean, she's just barely over, you know what I mean? So, but it'll happen. You got to give it time to do work its magic in your gut and get your gut healing.
I love that picture I love that picture I took by her by the palm tree.
Oh, she loves that too. She loves you for that. She's like, we're sitting there by that coastline, whatever it was.
Yeah, the intercoastal.
Like, how am I get this picture? And you just come on. And she's right then and there. She fell in love with you, George. She was like, "Oh, to death." And she's like, "I can't wait to meet you again." So
that was awesome. That was so much fun meeting her and things. That was really cool. That was really cool.
As of right now, it's just going to be me coming down in November for that next event, because she's trying to save what time she has with her job because of the 2 grandkids coming. Because our first one is here in about a week or 2.
Oh, really? Your first grandkid?
A little over a couple weeks. Yeah, the due date's August 8th for our first grandson.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. And then the next one's our first granddaughter, and she's not until January. And with me and my daughter's first time being pregnant, we trying to plan, because in case she's like my wife was, because my wife, the due date may be January, but she always had the baby in December, if not November.
Okay.
So So we're trying to plan that route just in case there's some similarities, but we don't know because it's her first pregnancy. So
And how close are they to where you live?
they're in El Paso, so they're a good 9-10 hour drive.
Okay. Okay, that's south. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually to go from where we live to El Paso is about going halfway.
Hey, George, I'm going to log off.
Okay, thanks, John.
See you, John. Yeah, but for us to go to El Paso from where we live here in Texas, it's like us driving halfway to Miami.
Oh, real.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I have 15 grandbabies, so
Nice.
I have 15 grandkids, and so I've got to wait to become a great grandpa, so I get my fifth generation.
Yeah, that's my grandma. She's still kicking it, and she's 90 years old now. And she's not doing the protocol, but she figured out how to reverse her type 2 diabetes. So kudos to her. But she wants to do a 5-generation picture once my first grandchild's here. So
yeah,
we're trying to figure out how to do that too.
That's such a precious thing because
Right.
my grandmother, and say I'm the oldest. I'm the number one. I'm the first love. I'm the most important, and everybody knows Georgie's number one.
Right.
I don't let them forget it. We have a numbering system in our family. I'm number one. We have 10. There's 10 of us kids, and I'm number one, and that's it. Nobody gets to be number one but me.
Yeah, I'm number one in mine too, but I'm also number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7. I'm the whole kick and caboodle of my family.
There you go. Perfect. But yeah, and so I have a picture with my grandmother and the 5 generations, and of course my kids I was me, mom, my old that, and then with my mom after grandma's passed away, then my mom, and so there's still me, and mom's 96, so I don't, then the youngest great is I think 5 or 7, I think 5. And so it's 20 years. So I will be 93. So I got a good shot,
Especially not doing the protocol.
Stay on the protocol. There's no reason to quit. I mean, I think it's such a silly question. Like, so are you going to stay on this forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people ask me that all the time. Are you going to stay on this forever? Well, the thing is are you still going to keep eating that Snickers bar? Are you still going to keep eating Twix? Are you still going to keep eating the sandwich? Are you still going to keep brushing your teeth? I mean, just because you're changing your body because you're going against the norm doesn't mean it's not sustainable and it's not, even if you reverse everything you want, you get down to where you want to be on metabolic health wise, it's a great thing to still keep doing because it prevents you from going back that way for one. And yeah.
It's like, and why? That's a great question. I don't know why you'd ask, but yeah.
Because now I just kind of thought about it. Before doing this protocol, when I was watching my diabetes hardcore, doing all that, I was eating what they considered diabetic friendly foods. So, zero sugar-free this, sugar-free that, supposedly and diabetes friendly. And then when I found out that stuff was not working because of my CGM, that's when I started going straight like carnivore, straight just fiber and straight, stuff like that. Yeah, my numbers improved, but I could never get my health back where I wanted to be or the numbers where I wanted to be. And this protocol got where I wanted to be. So yeah, I could quit taking it. But like people say, and if you the easiest way to put it is look at it like a barbecue. You got the flames going, you got the burners going, but once you kill that flame, you still got the coals going on there. So if you walk away from the lifestyle too fast, the coals can still spark up and right back and right where you're at. So the same thing with this. You're doing this life change, and if you walk away too soon, you go right back into your old habits. And the thing is I mean, I've seen it with me because when I first started this, I watched my carbs. I cut carbs out completely when I started this. So all I had was the fiber and the fats and the protein. That was it. And I had great results because, everybody's heard my story about how first month I lost this much, reversed everything. Then second month came around, third month came around. About third, fourth month into this, that's when my daughter, my wife, that's when she really got involved hardcore and really watching everything. And that's when I started incorporating carbs back into my diet because now I'm insulin sensitive instead of insulin resistant. And I've been able to keep my glucose down without medications, without that, even though I'm incorporating the same foods I had previous. Because now I'm insulin sensitive. Yeah, because now I'm putting muscle on. So that means I'm consuming more glucose from my bloodstream. Now I'm taking the strongholds. So that means I'm not breaking down the anabolic resistance and breaking muscle down even more. So that means I'm going to be able to burn more glucose because I got more muscle. I mean, it's very sustainable. So why get off of it? But just because, I hit my goal. Why not just stay on it and know I'm going to be taken care of and know I'm not going to go back that route. And that's what other people like, but I like my coffee. Well, okay, cool. I still like chocolate chip cookies, but you just watch me eat one. I mean, I still do my life. I just change my food order and I don't eat as often. I still have ice cream. I still have cake. I still have candy. I just not all the freaking time like I used to be.
Absolutely. It was Easter, I think Easter or I guess maybe it was Mother's Day. And we're visiting one of part of her family, and they had one of these bundt cake, nothing bundt cake or whatever.
Yeah, nothing but bundt cakes.
Yeah, what?
Oh, those are awesome.
Sugar bomb. What is sugar bomb?
Good Lord, yes. But we got one just right down the road here, and it's my wife's favorite place to go.
It's a sugar bomb. So I had a balance.
It's been time since doing this.
Yeah, and I had a balance before I went in to have that meal because I knew it was going to be knowing these guys, I knew it was going to be high carbohydrate, right?
Right.
And so then they had this cake, and I'm going like, okay, I'll have a piece. And I had that piece, and I about felt 100 pounds heavier going into the floor. I had to get out and walk.
Right.
I knew I had to get my muscles going because that's a lot of sugar. And my insulin was going, help, get it. Make room.
Going up, your body's going, help.
Yeah. Make room. Help. So I went out and I'm walking and I'm going, oh, this, oh, Lord. So I was talking to my body. I'm going, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the first time, once I started incorporating the carbs back in, and I had that really sugary cake, man, I managed to eat it, yes, but it made me sick. It really did. I mean, it bogged my system down. And I just and I'm like, man, I never noticed that before. But then you get away from it for a while, and then you reincorporate. It's like, oh, geez, yeah, I don't want to go back to feeling that way. So yeah, that's one reason why I don't have them that often anymore either. Because one, I don't crave it like I used to. Now it's just because, we're doing something special with the family, and it's more of an emotional connection with the family. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like when I know you heard the story when John and I went down to Miami this last, the trip a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down, he was talking about, oh, there's a Waffle House. Oh, there's a Waffle House. Oh, there's a Waffle House. And on the way down, he'd never been to a Buc-ee's. So he went to one Buc-ee's, and he was like, I said, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And he saw it. And so he goes, I don't need to stop again. And so we stopped one more time because they got good bathrooms. I mean, that's their one thing. And I said, okay, I'll let you get a breakfast sandwich or something to eat. The first time I said, no, we're not going to eat. We're going to keep going. And so we stopped, and he got something to eat. But on the way back, the point on this, on the way back, he was like, there's another Waffle House. There's a Waffle House. So we finally stopped. I pulled off the road to go to Love's, because that's you get the 10 cents off and all that, right?
Mhm.
And I drove across the road. He goes, "What are we doing?" "Well, you want to go to Waffle House? Here's a Waffle House." And
Right.
so we went in there. He's never going to another Waffle House. I can tell you.
Is it because of how greasy, or
It
is
was
it just
everything. It was possibly one of the worst things I've ever been in. Okay, as far as I mean, just cleanliness and everything else, and
Right.
how the food was cooked and whatever else. But it was not what he remembered when he was a first grader. And I was gonna have the bacon and the eggs, and all right, I'll have the pecans. So I was picking pecans. The first one she made, she screwed up, and so she made me another one. She said, "I'll let you have this one for free." I'm like, "I'm not gonna eat this thing." And so the next one comes, and I'm picking off the pecans, right, and eating the bacon. But yeah, he did not eat the whole thing, and
It surprised me.
yeah, he's not going back. He's not going to go back. So yeah, I mean, don't miss it, but it's interesting, when you start thinking about this stuff.
We have a Waffle House right down the road here, and we used to go to it all the time before this protocol. And every time we go, back when we went, I used to get just the scrambled eggs and chicken breasts. You get 2 chicken breasts and scrambled eggs. Then I would always add on a triple hash brown. So I got this big heap of hash browns and scrambled eggs and chicken breasts. And unfortunately, they took that off the menu, but you can still order it if you want. But last time I went and got it, it was $20 just to get 2 chicken breasts and eggs.
Wow.
The last time I went was with a coworker of mine when I was doing the law enforcement, and we stopped one way south down close to the Gulf of Mexico, and got food. And yeah, it was $20 just for the 2 chicken breasts and just the scrambled eggs. And I'm like, jeez. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
the chicken was great, but the eggs they're okay. And then last time I had the hash browns, it wasn't really that great. I was like, okay, I'm done with this place. And then I started doing the protocol, so I haven't been back since doing the protocol. So
yeah,
probably the way it sounds like from John's experience.
Yeah, well, and one thing's back in the day, John swam for me at the University of South Dakota, and he was the NCAA champion, butterfly, and that kind of stuff. Anyway, I took the entire team, 43 kids, to Miami to fly over to the Bahamas. That's where I got my nickname, Mr. Belly So Big. Right. Anyway, so he's been with me on this road trip nonstop. When we had 3 vans, I think it was 3 vans or 4 vans it took to get us down there. So he's taken this journey back and forth with me before. But one of the things he remembered was there was a place in Gainesville. It was called Skeeter's. And Skeeter's was the slogan was, "I eat at Skeeter's because he needs the money," and it was Skeeter's Big Biscuits, and they made biscuits the size of a steak platter. They were steak plattered.
Oh wow!
And gravy. So it's biscuits and gravy, and it's like college, right? So it's like a $1, $2 type of dish, but and he's going, "What was that place that we stopped at on the way back?" I said, "Skeeter's." "Oh yeah, that's right." And I didn't even have enough money to buy it, So you got it. But anyway, I go, they're out of business. But as I ate at Skeeter's because he needs the money, and Skeeter's Big Biscuits, and I can't imagine the gazillion calories in that flour roux, flour. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, flour. If you take flour, follow this formula. You're a mathematician. Take flour and water, put it together. You have glue. Now, if you add sugar,
it's the glue when the body pronounces glycation.
Yeah, and if you put some sugar in there, now you have cookies. Where did the glue go?
Right? Exactly. I remember making my own glue when I was younger.
Yeah, paper mache. Paper mache, right? I get it. But and then make a piñata and all the other kinds of things that we used to do, make the glue. And oh well. Anyway, so that's cool.
When you break open a piñata and the candy that falls out's the healthiest part.
Yeah,
we got a problem.
Exactly.
I didn't even thought of that until just now. I was like,
Exactly. That's a good one. I like that one, buddy. I like that one. So anyway, so I'm glad you're doing well. And
I'm doing awesome. I mean,
now you found a new platform that you've got. Now you're getting some traction on that platform, you think?
I actually, yeah, I've did the video just the other day. It's got 111,000 views already.
Wow.
So I got one viral video so far on that platform. It's not that big of a platform. I found out that it's actually headquarters over here in Carrollton, Texas.
Okay.
That's how I did it. And what I did is I went onto Google and did a search about apps that are like TikTok that are not restrictive as in censorship, like what TikTok is. And that was the first one that popped up, and it said it was local. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. So I downloaded and I started it. And then, if it keeps going the way it's going to go, I'm going to let the rest of the team know about it.
Yeah.
Because, the rumor is TikTok's getting shut down here in September. Well, if it does, it does. I mean, we can't control that. We just pivot and find work on another platform. No big deal.
Perfect.
If this one works out, then yeah, I'll let everybody know. The one thing I've noticed with it so far, it is a little harder to communicate with people that want information, but I'm working around it. So
cool. Perfect. I love it. Awesome. I love it. So I got we're going to have a tour, Dr. Kenny tour in August up here. We're going to go to Rockford, Rock Falls, Peoria, and over by Columbia. We're going to go to Boonville, Missouri.
When's he up there in August?
The 25th.
Okay, towards the end of the month. Okay.
Yeah, the end of the month.
He's actually heading to Harlingen, South Texas here on the 7th.
Yeah.
And then he'll be up here in Fort Worth on the 8th and 9th.
Okay. Now, how do you guys manage? How do you manage having when you use customers and get people in there? Do you invite them and track them yourselves, or you guys? How do you?
Yeah,
how do you
we just like the ones that I've got through social media. They'll be like, "Hey, I like what you guys are doing. I mean, is there like a way I can see you live, like in person?" I says, "Yeah, we got this event going on. Just let them know," and they plan it out. Like I got one lady who was actually off Dr. Kenny's live, and I started talking to her. And found out she was just right down the road from here, the next city over in Mineral Wells. And I told her, "Hey, look, I'm here in Weatherford." And, and we sparked the conversation that way. She actually went to one of the events that we had in Fort Worth, and she got on the product. She loves the protocol, but unfortunately, she had to stop taking it because of finance reasons. She wants to get back on it when she can afford to. So, I mean,
cool. Great, love it.
Yeah.
So you guys, with invitations, you guys, who you invited and who's coming and that kind of stuff, or you guys use a product? You guys just sign up with software, or
sometimes we know that they're coming. Sometimes we don't. Like the last one we did in Fort Worth, a gentleman actually, we didn't know he was coming. He was on Dr. Kenny's live that morning, and Dr. Kenny talked about how he's going to be there and all that. And he's like, "Oh," and he never said he's going to show. He just showed up. And I get from understanding, he ordered on the protocol right then and there. I haven't heard anything since then on how that gentleman's doing because it was Dr. Kenny's deal. But yeah, he was an awesome gentleman too. If I remember right, he was suffering from sarcopenia and a couple other things like underweight and some other autoimmune diseases, not diabetic, but other issues. So I just don't remember exactly off the top of my head what it was for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we got a really good turnaround.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to get Dr. Andrina up there in Rockford, which is about 2 hours from here, and then we can go here, and then go down about an hour and a half to Peoria, and then go to Central Missouri, and then I don't know where he's going to be Friday, but so we've got that 4 days, and we're going to try to get all the mileage out of him that we can, touch as many lives as we possibly can.
I'm trying to get this built to where I can start traveling like Dr. Kenny does, and I can just travel with him, and we can start doing, like the John and Kenny show or some crap.
Yeah, exactly.
We get you involved and get the John, Kenny, and George show going on.
There you go. Well, you got such a great story. I mean, it's just incredible the story you have, John. I mean, it's just
every one of us has a great story because it's our story. I mean,
Yeah.
I hear from people all the time. It's like, oh, they can't be acting. You know, you're blowing it out of proportion. I'm like, I'm not blowing it out of proportion. I'm telling you exactly what happened to me, how I became diabetic, how I was treating the disease because the way they tell you to, and it just feeds into it and makes it worse. It doesn't make it better. And then the biggest thing that I remember from that is like your dietitians and nutritionists or even the personal trainers are all telling, well, if you will just get off your butt and quit being lazy, you wouldn't have that problem. Well, I mean, you saw my picture. I was in the gym 2-3 hours a day lifting plus running because of sports, and I still developed type 2 diabetes because that was after I developed type 2 diabetes. I was training before that. I didn't start becoming really lazy until within the last 15, maybe 15 years tops.
Yeah.
By then, I've already been dealing with the disease for 10 years and I gave up. It's like I've been doing this, I've been doing this, I've been doing this, and it's not helping. It's not improving. It's just slowly getting worse. So why am I busting my butt to do this and this if it's not working? I'm just going to do what I want to do and enjoy my family and enjoy what time I got left before I kick the bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's,
I was pretty much kicking the bucket until I came across this.
yeah. 100% agree. Yeah. For both of us, it saved our lives in ways that no one could really truly imagine. But
I know.
but we're not unique. We're not unique in this at all.
I mean, even though I've been doing this 6 months, it still blows my mind by how much I've transformed and changed. And all because a fiber packet and chlorogenic acid. 2 little drinks, 3 little drinks total. It's changed my life completely. Who would have known it was that simple?
Right. Exactly.
And, you know, and I've had some, you know, people reach out to me, start the protocol, and their gut, excuse me, their gut microbiota was so messed up, jacked up that when they started doing the fiber, they had problems. They had complications with it. And, you know, some were, you know, constipation, some was diarrhea, some just upset stomach. I mean, there was one little girl, unfortunately for her, as soon as she consumed the fiber, she started throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it breaks your heart because you want to help them, but you can't, because unfortunately the only way to help them is them keep taking the fiber and consuming it to get that gut rearranged and get the health going. So
Yeah.
So if you do jump in and do this and you do experience some problems, yeah, it sucks at first.
It can.
You have to power through it if you get that, because it's actually a very good sign. That means your gut is healing, and so it's turning for the good, and you got to get the bad out before the good takes over.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
I had a message yesterday from a friend, a girl that has been on it for about 2 weeks, and she had she had a CAT scan, and she has some intestinal issues, and she says this is the first time a CAT scan showed she had no backup.
Well, good for her.
And
that's awesome.
I mean, yeah, that tells you right there. And yeah, I mean, some people they've been 30, 40, 50 years messing up their internal system, their intestinal system, their biome, whatever anybody wants to talk about it. But that long food canal, has some problems.
Yes.
And you had the problems before you started this. This is going to help, but you have to be a smidge patient. And yeah, this happens and boom, okay, fine. So there's all kinds of medications people take, and this isn't a medication. You know, we can nurse it into, we can mold these into, but don't give up. You've got to, you just keep working on it. Just keep letting it go. And you got to just go by. Now I'm blessed. I didn't my gut and things that doesn't really give a rep. Throw it down. I'm good. So I didn't have all those issues, but I understand people do. So it's like when I was this is true story. When I was 13 on my birthday, I decided that I would wish my headaches on the Chinese. I figured that there's a few billion of them, and they won't notice a couple more headaches. John, I have not had a headache since I was 13. I don't believe in them. I know people get debilitated by them, but I have not had a headache, period, in 60 years.
Well, the thing is, headaches is because you get that sharp pain in your head and all that kind of stuff. But is it truly a headache? Because there's no pain receptors in your brain.
Exactly.
So that means the pain you're getting is the blood flow going around the skull, not inside. And the reason the blood flow is doing that and getting that is because of vasoconstriction, high blood pressure. Think about it, people.
Exactly.
It's not
they've known for decades that migraines are exactly that. The root cause of migraines is insulin resistance. Now they've got all kinds of pills that will maybe, you're all nauseous and all that stuff, but it doesn't do anything. And I don't really know because I haven't experienced them, but I hear results from people all the time that.
Well, you can go to the store and buy over the counter, like I said, your migraine, Advil migraine. I mean, they got a whole category of migraine, not including just the regular Tylenol or ibuprofen or Advil, they got. Oh, look, here's Advil, and then here's Advil migraine, or here's this. And now we have to specialize it now. It all does the same thing.
Exactly. And all the stories of all the people we hear that used to have migraines that don't have them anymore because they're on the protocol, because we're able to intercede intervene.
It's like I got a good friend back home in Utah that we went to high school together, and she suffers from migraines hardcore, and I've talked to her about this, and she would love to do it, but she's unemployed at the moment, so she can't pay for it. And I would love to be able to help her, but I can't. I just can't give it to her for free, unfortunately.
Nope. Absolutely.
I wish I could, but
yeah. But we hear the results all the time. We hear little stories about a little this, a little that, like not having any solids in the channel for the first time.
Yeah.
Or having a clean pap. No thyroid issues, for the first time. Hashimoto's no issue. Gaining weight, muscle mass.
Have you ever heard the thing about the rumor about protein is what causes the flatulence and the foul smelling flatulence? Have you ever heard about that?
No.
Yeah, I've never heard. I kind of read a little bit about it, but like somebody was talking about how this, and this, and then they blame it on protein is the reason why you have foul smelling flatulence. And I'm like, okay, how's that possible when you eat protein, you digest it all before it even gets to your intestines? It's not protein that does that. What's doing it is whatever rotten in your colon, which is usually your lentils, your beans, your veggies, because your body doesn't consume those. Those are all for the bacteria. That feeds the bacteria, which is in your intestines and all that.
Yeah, things flow through. Ever eat asparagus?
Yeah.
Everybody knows you had asparagus yesterday.
Or cabbage. That was the biggest thing when I worked at the jail. Every Thursday night was cabbage night, and you could tell.
Yeah, I get it.
Cabbage and beans was the main two on Thursday nights. And
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Sure glad I didn't work nights anymore when I.
Yeah, there you go.
Together on that one.
Perfect. Well, John, we've had a good night together like we always do. And we'll sign her up. We'll sign her off. I got to do a couple
You
videos.
gotta
I
jump
got
off and go jump on TikTok and do a TikTok live.
Yeah, me too. So,
So,
all right. Talk to you later, buddy. I
all
love you.
right, brother. See you tomorrow, brother. Have a good one.